Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of DFV. I am Black Cinephile.
I am AKA Brad.
AKA Brad. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you will. Helps us out with the algorithm, as they say. And don't forget to give us your thoughts, because today we got an interesting one. We're taking it back old school on this one, Brad.
Yeah, we are going with two movies that were critical failures that have gone on to receive mass audience praise. We're going with Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, which is the sequel movie for Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yes. Mrs. Doubtfire, as you know, one of Robin Williams' most beloved roles.
Which is amazing that even to this day, I think this movie still has a 28% or something like that on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's gone up.
Oh, has it gone up?
Yeah, I mean, per Wikipedia, which of course we can trust them.
Well, yeah,
it's gone up to 72%.
I think that's the audience score, but the critic score is still 28% or something like that.
Is it? Oh, you might be right.
It's still low because I am pretty sure that's one of the movies that it's locked in for the score. Let me see. Oh no, it's been updated to be higher now. But yeah, at one point this movie was pretty much panned by critics across the board.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. I can see it in some places. I can in some places. I'm like, I see the humor. But all right, man. What do you think? You think today's a chronological episode?
You know what? I was thinking about this earlier, and I think this is a chronological episode.
It doesn't seem like it, but Miss Doubtfire was made before Ace Ventura 2, but it looked like Ace Ventura was made earlier in the years.
Ace Ventura has a very slapstick comedy that it almost feels like it was made in the 80s.
It does. It does feel like that a little bit. We'll get into it. All right, man. Starting off with Miss Doubtfire. You want me to take this over and you got Ace?
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, you got Aces. All right, Miss Doubtfire. So this movie, give a brief synopsis here. It ain't much to go into. Robin Williams plays Daniel Hillard. He's a failed animation voice actor, divorcee, who's trying to save his marriage as much as he can. He's about to become a divorcee. He's trying to save his marriage, trying to stick with his kids because he loves them so much, and trying to keep his family together. But him and his wife are just growing into two different people. They're arguing a lot, and it's come to the point where she's called for a divorce, and there's also a custody battle. And so the main objective is Daniel has to who just recently got fired from an animation job because he has his idiosyncratic ways of just being his Robin Williams' self.
Basically, he disagreed with the script and tried to redo it himself, but the animation is done already, so it's not like he can Mad Lib the speaking role of the cartoons anymore.
Right.
So yeah, that causes a disagreement and him leaving.
Right. So basically, he's without a job right now, and the judge is saying, "Look, I'm giving your ex-wife sole custody of the kids right now, and you got about
90 days.
You got 90 days to find employment, so you can have joint custody." So he has to find a job, and nothing is really working out with him to the point where he can still meet up with his kids and still spend quality time with them. So in his infinite wisdom, he takes up an ad that his ex-wife put out for a housekeeper. So when she's out working, someone to take care of the kids. And he dons a dress, some makeup, and a wig, and calls himself Mrs. Doubtfire and takes the job. That in and of itself is the plot of Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah, and one thing, this movie it has a lot of great comedy bits with it and everything like that. Robin Williams is on full performance for the different voices, the different acts, everything else that he can do. And it's the peak of his career, basically, at this point, too.
The first 5 minutes alone is Robin Williams at his most versatile when he's doing the different voices, which this is a genius character for him. Somebody who does animation voiceover, because Robin Williams in stand-up and in film is so animated.
Right.
Those reasons we love him, the different voices he takes on here, like it shows the level of his creativity.
Yeah, I especially love the part where he's first making the phone calls and everything, like responding to the ad, and he's doing it as these terrible people, just screaming off, "Get back in your cage. Hello, dearie."
Hey, that's the one when he starts like yelling, just screaming. Ah!
Yeah. There's so many like great moments in this that I forgot about when I was doing the rewatch of it and everything, where he completely just uses his voices to the peak comedy perfection. The phone calls is one, when he's doing the animation between like the bird and the cat and everything that you see. Even when he's like later on, doing this whole thing with like toy dinosaurs and, switching between these different motifs and everything. It's so great.
I gotta say, let's play a game of in real life real quick. This guy is a horrible ex-husband, dude.
Oh, so this is one of those things where I remember like people talking about him being like, yeah, in this movie, Robin Williams' character is an absolute psychopath and should be removed from being able to see his kids. Absolutely. Like they make the judge out to be like a bad guy in this movie, but in reality, that judge is the hero.
Listen, in the beginning, with the whole zoo animals in the party, I was like, he's just a big kid. There's nothing wrong with that. He's just trying to celebrate his kid's birthday, and him and his wife got issues and they gonna argue. I feel for the guy. I don't want to take anything away from the movie, but the moment he donned the wig, listen, if my parents were having a divorce and my dad was trying to get custody or trying to spend time with me, if I found out my housekeeper was my dad in disguise, I'm calling the cops. I'm not gonna be like, Dad, and have some emotional moment. I'm running to my bedroom, locking the door, and calling the cops, saying my dad has lost his mind. Please come get him.
Yeah, I love that scene where when I can't remember what the son's name is, but when he first finds out that Miss Doubtfire is a man. And he's like, we got to call the cops. We need to. Miss Doubtfire has his apartment.
No. Yeah. No, it's not Frank. That's his brother. Chris is the kid.
Chris.
Yeah, Chris.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, she's apartment. She's a he. He's a she. It's a man woman.
Right.
We got to call the police. And he comes in. He's like, I'm actually your father. And they're just like, oh, Dad. And it's like, no, that's not how that scene would play out. That would have gone.
The son was somewhat believable though, because when Robin Williams says, "Give me a hug, son," it's like, no, I'm good, Dad.
Oh yeah.
I get it.
And all that. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, no.
Because that was just such a. I couldn't. As a kid, I probably thought, "Oh man, that's a cute scene," but as an adult, I'm like, yeah, I can't. That's just. I can't. My critic brain turns on and goes, yeah, no kid in their right mind is gonna be all right with that.
Yeah, there were a couple scenes in this where you have to get rid of like that part of your brain just kicks in and goes, yeah, that's not right at all. That's totally wrong.
Suspension of disbelief. And how is it that Sally Field's character can't recognize her ex-husband's voice?
Right, even though he's doing a voice, but at the same time, you would think that he slips up a couple times in that frame, and she would have picked up on that. Also, he very conveniently, or Miss Doubtfire, very conveniently, like knows a lot of inside information about her life.
Right.
You know, like the whole divorce thing. And, well, I can see it on their faces. And then, it must have been recent and this and that. And there's a couple other moments too where
You sure know your way around the kitchen.
yeah, right. Well, it's because everything's labeled so nicely. Oh yeah, it's definitely that. Yeah, there's times where you just look and go, wow, she had to be even dumber. She shouldn't also have the kids.
They should just go with their aunt. No, they should be with their Uncle Frank.
Yes.
Who did the makeup? Him and who's his husband? Because they called them Uncle Frank and Aunt somebody.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah.
I can't remember what
Jack. Uncle Frank and Aunt Jack. They should live with them. They should live with them.
Their scenes were great. They're only in the movie maybe like 3 times, and it's all toward the very beginning. But I loved their scenes, especially when he like comes in and goes, "Hey, I need you to make me a woman. I've been waiting for this day my entire life. Come in here."
Right. And I love the scene at the end where they're like, where he's like, is it done? Do you need to do any more? If we do any more, you'll become mom. And then they high five each other and start dancing. I miss comedies like this, man. You can't make these kind of comedies these days.
No, for very good reasons. You can't make comedies like this these days. But this one, some of the jokes kind of fall flat because they were done in the 90s and everything like that. But a lot of them hold up. I'd say a good like 90% of the jokes still hold up on a rewatch of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, you take it with a grain of salt. It's a 90s film. You know what I mean? You got homegirl Mara Wilson, who we know from Matilda in the movie. It's 90s. You got to take it for what it is. I was going to say, dude, again, something you can't do today. You can't make an Aerosmith dude looks like a lady today. And that's such a great song. But
I know
you can't have a musical drop like that in the movie today without, backlash. And I was like, man, this is what I love about 90s comedies, man. They were just so, even ones like this where the whole family can enjoy it, they still had some grit to them. They still had a little bit of edge, and there wasn't like an agenda. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's like even some of the plot lines in this that come up, not even just the characters, but some of the plot lines that are occurring and everything, you really couldn't do them in a movie today with, asking the housemaid, what should I wear and everything like that, and going into that tirade rant of, oh, that's slutty. You can't wear that. You're going to show your shoulders,
Right.
And it's like, but I love it in this movie. At the same time, it's hilarious, it's fun, but it also, those kind of scenes like remove your suspension of belief a little bit, and you're like, you really still can't tell that this is actually your husband. Yeah,
like I feel like what was I gonna say? I mean, you take it over. I don't know what I was gonna say next.
Yeah, well, one of the other things is with the mother. She's also a terrible person, because at the very beginning of the movie, with the one person, I can't remember his name, coming
Pierce
into
Brosnan's character. Pierce Brosnan's character. Yeah, the hot guy. Yeah. James Bond.
Where he comes into the picture and calls up and is like, hey, I want to speak with her, and she gets all flustered like right away of, oh, he's calling, I remember him.
Right.
And it's like, you're married. Like, I get that you're supposed to be angry with your husband in like 5 minutes when you get home, but right now you're not, and you're still married. And then she gets home, she's all mad, and then she comes back and goes back to work, and he's admitting, I've been watching your career the last 3 years. It's like, oh, that's a red flag. And I've been hoping that your head, that's a red flag.
You have a point, but she didn't don a dress, wig, and makeup to fool her kids into thinking she's a housekeeper.
Right. I'm not saying by any means that makes his entire thing better.
There's levels to this, Brad.
There is levels.
There's levels to being a bad parent in this movie, and I don't think it's her.
Oh yeah, he's the worst parent.
Right.
But that's not a contest here. I'm just saying she's also a pretty terrible parent at the same time. Or terrible person in general.
And are you telling me, because the first time he fails, but are you telling me it took you to put on a dress, wig, and makeup to learn how to cook for your family?
Yeah.
It took you to do that to learn how to cook.
Yeah, I do love the kind of the nicety, like that's a feel good moment where he's like learning how to cook and he's learning how to clean and stuff like that. It's like, oh, that's adorable. But he is still dressing up as a fake person to spend time with his family against court orders. But it's adorable. Look at it. He's learning how to cook lobster.
This is one of those rare films where I don't know if you had this experience, but I know as a kid, I had a lot of VHS tapes, but there was always that one popular movie you just didn't have that you either watched over a friend's house or over your cousin's house. Miss Doubtfire was one of those movies for me.
Oh, okay.
Like for every Doubtfire, I had that Leave It to Beaver remake. I don't know if you remember that one. You remember that movie?
I don't.
Okay. Well, I had Leave It to Beaver, Little Rascals, Casper. Mm-hmm. For every one of those, I didn't have a Miss Doubtfire. You know what I'm saying? Like, for every Home Alone and Richie Rich, I didn't have a Page Master on VHS. So like,
you've seen that movie though, right?
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay,
like,
good.
I've seen it over a friend's house. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying I never had it personally. Like,
okay,
I was always missing like that one VHS that was like really popular, but like other people had it and they kind of had like underrated gems. Like, what's that Disney movie called The Cauldron or something? The Black Cauldron.
The Black Cauldron. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one with the annoying little dog thing?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was one of those VHSs I just didn't have in my collection, man. But every time I was over my friend's house or my cousin's house, I would watch it, dude.
Yeah, it is a classic movie. It's definitely still holds up to this day, I would say, and everything. But when it comes to like the critical panning of this movie, I get it at the same time. I fully understand.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The entire plot literally requires you to suspend disbelief of all facts of reality. That you can't have physics. You have to forget what physics are in order to, be able to go into this movie and go, oh yeah, that makes sense.
The tea. Again, when he was making tea for the lady who was supposed to be, I don't know, she's an auditor or what.
She was the court officer.
I'm like, who's gonna believe all of this, man? Like he goes off to change as Miss Doubtfire, like, oh, my brother is right here. And then the whole stuff happens in the kitchen where they're just trying to make the tea. And then she buried her face in the cake.
Yes. The face mask.
To make it seem like it was a face mask. Who in their right mind is going to take some face mask out of the tea and put it on their face? Like, come on.
And then she tastes it afterwards too.
Right.
It's, I can't remember what he says. He says like, oh, it's a mango cream thing. And it's like, yeah, but at the same time, you wouldn't put that in tea. Like, that scene still kind of is just weird, especially when he's doing the whole like, oh, let me go get my brother. Oh, let me come out now. Hold on, I'm just getting out of the shower.
90s. It's
right.
90s.
It's 90s comedy, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, if that wasn't a red flag to her to like write on the report, I don't know what is.
And this is a person who you believe to have common sense.
Yes.
So anyway, there's another scene. Now this scene makes me laugh, dude. When he's in the kitchen and his boobs catch on fire.
Oh yeah, when he's learning to cook the first time and everything.
Right. He's like, oh man, it's hot. Like, what's going on? Then
something smells like plastic. and it's hot in
Right.
here.
That was so funny. That's still funny to this day, man. That cracked me up.
See, one scene that every time I see it, I gotta like give props to Robin Williams for is when he's in the restaurant after he's had like several drinks and he's starting to like stagger around drunk and everything like that. It's peak like slapstick comedy and done so well of him just running into shit as he's like trying to get around and play these two people. The scene when he's as Mrs. Doubtfire and sits down with the CEO president and is like, this is the new character of your show. And I love the implication that the CEO is just so drunk at that point because he's had what, like 10 scotches or something like that. Like the table is literally just glasses of empty scotch at this point. And I love that they add that detail that the table just continually is getting worse and worse, just covered in glass. Like the wait staff there are terrible. They didn't take a single one of those glasses. They just kept going, oh, another one. No, we're not going to take those. Those stay here until you leave. Another one, sir?
Right.
But I love the concept that he was just so hammered that, Robin Williams' character leaves, comes back dressed as a woman, and he goes, yeah, this is normal. You know what? You're right. That should be the character of the show.
Dude, you know who that was? I didn't know that until I looked it up just now. My man who played the TV producer, that was the bad guy from Thief.
Is it really the bad guy from Thief?
Yeah, that's him. And it looks like him too. So yeah. Oh, wow.
I never got that.
I love his facial expressions to everything Robin does at the table. Like when he first comes back to the table, he says, why do you have mascara on?
Or no, are you wearing ladies' perfume? I guess I am.
You got lipstick on? Yeah. I ran into an old flame. He back by the bathroom. We kind of went at it for a minute. Mm-hmm. Oh, she got a friend? Who? It's the 90s, right? Like he said, no, just she got a friend for me. And I like how they go back and forth. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, go check. Yeah, it's absolutely hilarious. Even when he's like drunkenly staggering through like the kitchen after putting on like the chef's coat. And I love that too, because he's literally like falling over nearly as he's walking through the kitchen.
Here's the one thing where I give Sally Field's character some grace, and I go, you know what? Maybe this person is realistic here. She doesn't take him back in the end.
Yeah, they continue to be separated. She just understands that her ex-husband is a psycho that will do everything to be with the kids. So she might as well just accept this fact and let him be with the kids. Otherwise, who knows what he'll do next?
He's still their dad,
Right.
He's still there. He's a horrible husband, but he's a great dad.
I like my explanation more.
Listen, man.
I fear what he'll do next, so I might as well just give him what he wants.
I can't picture this film ending with her taking him back though, because I know it's the 90s, but if that happened, I would have been like, wow.
Yeah, well, it had that nice little note at the end of the letter read by Mrs. Doubtfire. Your parents might be separated, but at the same time, they still love you, and you just have two families now. And it's like, oh, that's a nice little note read by a psychopath. That's great. Do we have Ted Bundy coming in to tell us, a nice message about cooking now, or?
That's funny. Yeah. Old Miss Doubtfire was kind of a psycho. Yeah, man. I want to say, now, does it still hold up? Like you said, some jokes fall flat. I mean, some of it falls flat.
Yeah, I would say that 90% of the jokes in this movie still hold up. There's somewhat that fall flat, but I think for the most part, the jokes hold up. The plot, I think, is absolutely insane, which works in its favor and doesn't at the same time.
Well, you gotta understand, I feel like this movie, there was Tootsie before it with Dustin Hoffman, but I feel like this movie kind of gave birth to the big mama houses, the Medeas of, the Tyler Perry Medea films. So there is a staple in it in comedy,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, some of it does fall flat. I get it's a straight 3 for me.
This is a 3.5 for me.
Really? 0.5?
Nope.
0.5. It still has some great slapstick. I love slapstick humor. That's my wheelhouse of humor and everything like that. And this still has some great slapstick humor. You take the plot out of this, and it's still got plenty of belly laughs from me.
Okay. Fair enough.
For that, it's a 3.5 from me. But yeah, once you start like adding in, all of like the things where it's like, yeah, you got to suspend disbelief. God, these characters are dumb. That Judge is the only smart character in this entire movie by going, yeah, I can't justifiably let you be with these kids alone ever again.
Yeah. All right, that's it for me. You want to move on?
Yes. Let's move on to Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. So, following the events of the first film, Jim Carrey returns once again as the titular character of Ace Ventura, this time tasked with finding the thief of a bat of a local tribe that is about to have a marriage with another tribe for the princess and the prince of these two tribes. And if the bat is not found in time, the tribes will instead decide to kill each other. Why? Who knows? But they need this white albino bat that has just gone missing. And Ace Ventura is the only one put up to the task that can find out who had done it.
See, man, the way you describe that meaningless plot right there, let me tell you something, man. I listen, I love Jim Carrey. I think he's one of my favorite comedy actors. So when I hadn't seen this film in years, since I was a kid, and I barely remember it, except I know that the only scene I remember is when he climbed out the toy rhino. That's the only scene I remembered. So when I was watching this today, man, I just had to say to myself, dude, this movie's stupid. This movie is beyond stupid.
This movie is basically, lol, I'm so random. The movie starring Jim Carrey.
Man, I never thought if you told me there was a film where Jim Carrey is obnoxious, I wouldn't believe you because he's not obnoxious to me. Ace Ventura gets obnoxious very fast in this movie.
It does. Like, this is one of those ones where, I love Jim Carrey. I love his facial expressions. He is literally made of elastic, I'm pretty sure. He's alien in some way. I have no idea how he can do like the facial contortions he does. And this role was made for him. Absolutely. But it just gets so like annoying with the jokes because the jokes don't make sense most of the time. It's just, let me say a random thing. Some of them do hit, like when he's at like the party and the one lady with like the dead fox over her shoulder comes in. Is like, well, you should try sophistication sometime. He goes, well, let me try it now. He just knocks out the old dude, throws him over his shoulder, and like flails around with him like as a scarf. It's like, okay, that's funny.
That was one of the scenes I thought was stupid. But
oh, really?
No, let me tell you what was funny to me. Because like you said, some jokes do hit. I like it with this is a testament to Jim Carrey, how like his physical comedy is unparalleled. Like he's in the car driving and he's just like doing like this, and like you think it's the road, but the road is smooth, but he's just moving to the music in the car. Yeah. And I'm like, whatever actor is sitting next to him, how do you do that take without busting out laughing?
Yeah, it reminds me of when they were talking about filming Dumb and Dumber, how half of the time they were filming that movie, they couldn't get a real take because somebody was cracking up whenever they were on screen with Jim Carrey. Right. And it's like, I get that 100%. It's
Yeah.
one of those things. Like even in the new Sonic movies and stuff, it's like this is classic Jim Carrey that we have there, and I love it. And I loved him in the first Ace Ventura, but I'm not sure if it's still like nostalgia glasses on with that one or not. Because with this one, I remembered loving this movie before, and with this watch, I was like, okay, that was annoying. That was annoying. Okay, that was funny. That was annoying. That was annoying. That was annoying. Oh, I
Yeah.
like that. That was funny.
Like his energy is there. The energy is
Yes.
there. It's just the jokes aren't hidden that much. Like I like there'll be moments where I'll just look at him in this film and I'll laugh. Like the way Ace Ventura walks with the stained on smile on his face. I'm like he's the Joker, dude. He is the Joker. And I'll just laugh at the way he looks, and then he'll say something and I'll be like, okay, now we're back to regular annoying Ace. You know, like it I think this was made for kids. Like
this one is absolutely made for kids. It's silly fun made for kids where it's like, oh, that was funny. That was funny. That was funny. And to everybody else, it's like, that didn't make sense. Why would he say that? Why is that going on?
I can picture being a kid in the theater laughing at this and going like, man, this is hilarious. But like as a grown man watching it, I'm like, all right, when does this end? And I'm checking the runtime on my remote. And this was 94 minutes that felt like 2 hours.
Yeah, this is a short movie, but it does feel a lot longer. But one of the scenes that I quote fairly often, and I forgot it came from this movie, was, oh, how selfish of me. Let's do all the things you want to do. You know, I love that quote. And I forgot this is the movie that comes from.
Oh, which scene was that? Because I think
it's at the beginning with the slinky and everything like that. When the slinky's coming down the stairs, he's like, can we do it again? Well, Mr. Ventura, we must really get to the plane. Oh, right. How selfish of me. Let's do all the things you want to do.
I like it when he's doing the slinky. He's like, this is gonna be in the Guinness World Records.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, that's such an Ace Ventura thing to do.
I love the pan out to him, like just literally going down step by step with the slinky as well.
Right. And here's a testament to how annoying Ace Ventura is. The moment the guy comes that tells him about the new case and tries to get him away from the Buddhists are like literally celebrating and partying that he's leaving. They're happy that he's leaving.
Yeah, I love when the one is like, no, you have reached enlightenment just now. Well, don't I get like a totem? You can have mine. I'm bored of this thing anyway. Didn't you work 80 years to get this? Yeah, but it's not a big deal. You can have it now.
Yeah, and as he's walking out, he says, I've never seen them act like that before.
Denial is a powerful thing.
Right. I like see, and there's just some random stupid lines in this movie. Like there's the line where the woman the woman that tells him, oh, I never been with a man before, she's dancing kind of seductively in front of him. He's and he's giving this monologue about, I've taken a vow of celibacy. Women are precious creatures that are meant to give birth to women and meant to give birth to kids and stuff like that. She's like dancing up close on him, and then he turns to the guy and goes, you got a daughter? I'm like, what kind of punchline is that? Like, I don't.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
like that was just a stupid scene, and oh man, now here's a scene. This is a scene that is kind of funny. The scene where he's fighting Tommy Davidson.
The
over the top guy that was the
tribes guy.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a pretty funny showdown.
Yeah, I love that they continually just called him White Devil. And even when the one, person is translating for him, I noticed that you seem to have also referred to me as the White Devil. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's how they know you. Let's stop that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, how she's mistranslating everything. It's like, I do not want to fight. I come in peace. We do not want war. And retranslate, I want war. Go to hell.
Right. Yeah, man, but the rhino scene, dude, that's that's a funny bit, man. That's a bit where, Kerry using his physicality, he nails the physical comedy well, where he's climbing out of fake rhinos. But yeah, overall, this is just a dumb movie. Like
It went on longer than it needed to, which says a lot when the movie's only an hour and a half long.
Yeah, I agree. It's just I don't understand the point. Like, this was all over a bat.
Yeah, the two tribes, if they didn't have the bat for the wedding, they were going to just kill each other instead of going through with the wedding, instead of just, calling off the wedding or something else.
I gotta say, man, one stupid joke to have me laughing was the scene at the end where the bad guy tries to escape, and he gets caught by the gorilla who mistakes him for a mate, and they start.
Oh yeah.
You see the bush start moving and stuff. I'm like, even though that kind of constitutes sexual assault, that is hilarious.
He's literally being raped by a gorilla. Let's be honest here, but it's hilarious.
Right. And the gorilla don't even look real.
Oh no, it's the animal effects in this movie are so bad. But it's
Right.
90s. It's not like it was, a recent movie or anything like that. So it's for its time, it was on par for, that kind of like animatronics and usage like that. But at the same time, yeah, it looks god awful.
Yeah, I mean, you got anything else to say about this?
Not really. It's literally just a bunch of randomness booked in with a lot of great acting by Jim Carrey around a plot that doesn't make sense to begin with. There's really no tension or going, oh man, I hope that he solves the mystery and finds the albino bat for these two tribes. There's not much there. And even from the start, you can be like, okay, the guy that hired him's the villain. It's just the guy that hired him's the villain. That's the only response for this movie. Oh, what do you know? He ended up being the villain.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I clocked out on a lot of the for lack of a better phrase, plot of this movie. And I was like, well, let me focus on the laughs and see if that gives it redeeming power. Oh no, just a few laughs here and there. Okay, well, I guess that's what this is then.
Yeah, there were a couple of good chuckles with this one, but overall, it's a kid's movie. It wasn't, I remember as a kid loving this movie.
I don't think it's for kids, but this is a film that kids will laugh at.
Right.
I don't think it's a kid's movie, but
the jokes are kiddie-ish.
Right. They're childish.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. With that being said, this is a 2 out of 5 for me.
I put this at a 1.5 out of 5.
Really, that low?
Yeah, besides the couple good laughs, there's nothing else to this movie. You could put a clip show together of, maybe 5 to 10 minutes of this movie,
I
and
think
I'd
that's
go,
exactly what you can do.
Yeah, that's it.
We could have just watched the clip show of this entire movie because, was the first one this bad? I don't remember.
I remember the first one being better than this, but at the same time, it's been so long since I've seen it that I might still have nostalgia goggles for it. Because I didn't remember this one being as bad as it was.
Mm-hmm. All right, fair enough. Yeah, man, this movie was just it was bad, but I give it a 2 because it gave me some belly laughs here and there.
Right. With that said, though, if Christopher Nolan does decide to pick up and make a Ace Ventura movie like Jim Carrey says that he would do it, God, I would be in that theater so fast to see that still.
I would just be to see if Nolan could pull it off.
You know what? Nolan would pull off a darker theme and everything, I think Nolan would be able to fix the problems with this film with Jim Carrey's acting. I think it could be pulled off.
I don't even think it would be a Dark Knight for Ace Ventura. There'll be no jokes. He would be a serious detective in the wild trying to discover a nefarious plot being done by Michael Caine.
Yeah,
That's the movie. That is the movie.
I want to see that movie.
And we don't even have, it's not Jim Carrey as Ace Ventura. It's who's my man? Cillian Murphy. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, I see it.
You know what? Don't even call it Ace Ventura. Just Christopher Nolan. Make this
When nature calls.
This animal murder mystery.
Right. A little bit of loud wars in the jungle, so you can't hear some of the key dialogue. You know, you're gonna need that. So some exposition will be missed out until you get the Blu-ray. You have subtitles, and you got a Christopher Nolan Ace Ventura movie, man.
Right, but you also have to make sure that the subtitles are only on like the super mega deluxe version of the Blu-ray, not even the normal version. The normal version has to be missing the subtitles.
The normal version just has the movie, and that's it.
Yeah,
no audio changes, no special features, just bare bones movie.
Yeah, it's the red box of the movie universe.
Right.
So I guess this is a tough one on which movie wins. I don't know. What were you thinking on this one?
I don't know, man. I guess if we had to just throw a hat in the ring, I'd say Miss Doubtfire.
Yeah, I'm thinking on it hard, and I gotta go with Miss Doubtfire too.
Yeah, man, it's a no-brainer, dude. I mean, Miss Doubtfire, even though you can't make that film today, it wins.
Yeah, Robin Williams is always going to be one of the best comedic actors of the 90s and early 2000s by far. Forever missed, because he was literally the childhood of so many people around our age when it comes to the movies and everything that we enjoyed. So it's hard for that one. Ace Ventura sadly just did not age well. I don't know if it aged at all, but it definitely didn't age well.
Yeah, I agree with you. I completely agree with you. All right, man. With that being said, what you been watching recently?
So we need to talk about the most recent episode of Better Call Saul, aka the first episode of After the Break.
All right, y'all. If you're not caught up on Saul yet at the time of watching this, you might want to get lost for a little bit, because
this is your warning. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share your comments below. And come back when you have seen the episode, because oh boy, that episode,
dude, that was a great showdown, man.
That was an hour of tension that was built up better than most movies. If this was the finale of the show, this would be one of the best finales for most a TV show.
Or most movies today.
I would say most movies in general. When it comes to building tension and everything, it did a great job by putting Kim in the center of it, because we don't know what's going to happen with her. It has Lalo in the center. We don't know what's going to happen with him. A lot of Mike's men, we don't know what's going to happen with them. We had 3 guarantees of survival from this, and that was Gus, Mike, and Saul. That was it.
I knew Kimmy would be all right. I kind of knew she was going to be all right. Like, I don't think I predicted the way it was going to go by the end, but I knew if she showed up at the door, somebody was going to grab her and kind of be on to what was going on. But, dude, I got to say, man, it feels like the more we've seen Gilligan direct episodes from Breaking Bad onward to this moment, he just gets better and better, dude.
Oh, yeah.
As a director, like Bagman, I don't know what season of Saw that was from. I think that was like 5. Was it last season?
Yeah, that was the last season because that was literally right before Lalo went back to Mexico, and then everything for the season finale hit.
Which they call arguably the best episode of Better Call Saul, but I think this one might be right in that one's behind, man.
Yeah, this is by far peak television. You know, when it comes to like just the implications of some of the writing. So just taking Kim's part in the episode to its, down to the crossing the T's and dotting the I's. She was ready to kill a stranger in order to save Jimmy's life. Because at that point she thinks that Jimmy's life is in peril and she's going through with it. She knocks on the door. She's holding the gun. She's ready. I thought it was hilarious when, Mike's going, "What are you here for?" And then she even points at like the fake Gus and goes, "I'm here to kill him."
Right. I told you, man. When you and I were talking, I was like, where are they gonna go from here? The main conflict is wrapped up. I mean, you have the Gene timeline, which I don't think you need 4 episodes to wrap that up, but like Lalo was the main conflict of this whole season, and now he's wrapped up.
Yeah, he was the main conflict for the last season and this season so far. But at the same time, you got to remember, this show is like Saul Goodman getting up to the point that he's at in Breaking Bad, where he has like the full office and he's like the renowned kind of criminal lawyer and everything like that.
He's this character drama. Yeah.
Right. So we still have that story going, and there's still story to tell with that because he's literally just gotten that office. The office hasn't even really been built yet and everything like that. And so we still have plenty to see from that. We have whatever's going on with Kim to finish off with that story. We still have, Gus finishing off, the meth lab and everything like that, because now he got rid of the main problem with Lalo sneaking around, but he still has a problem that it's not done being built. He still has to get it finished being built. So I did love when we saw like Mike's reaction to having to like bury Lalo and Howard, where he like looks at Howard and he has like that expression on his face, like this feels wrong. I hate that it came down to this. There's somebody that literally had nothing to do with any of this drama who got caught up in it and ate a bullet as a result.
Yeah.
And it's a sad thing. I do remember that previously the guy that plays Howard made a comment back in like, I don't know, like season 3 or 4 about how he hasn't had a scene with Mike yet and he can't wait to have a scene with Mike. And people were commenting, I bet he wishes he didn't have that scene with Mike anymore.
That's funny. I like this. I like the comment Mike makes where the guys, they just throw Lalo's body in there like he's nothing. Of course, he's the enemy, and they're about to do the same thing with Howard. He's like, hey, be careful with him.
Yeah.
Like he's
be
a civilian.
Gentle, grab him by the legs.
Right. He's a civilian. Which is pointless. He's already dead. But that's his humanity.
It's a respect thing. It's like Mike gives respect to everybody. Like he knows that Lalo put them through trouble and everything, but Howard had nothing to do with any of that. Howard was literally a civilian, and I love that he used the story that Jimmy and Kim were already building up to, send him off and everything. With they're gonna find traces of cocaine in his car. His car is going to be found abandoned on the beach and everything. It's the story you guys have been building, so it's everything that you guys wanted. This is what you were after, isn't it?
Oh man, that's a stab in the heart.
I know it hits so hard.
Yeah, because it's like you guys are going to ruin his life anyway.
Yeah, this is what you wanted. This was your end goal. You ruined his life. You won. And we're going to go with that story. And guess what? You're going to continue winning because that's the story everybody's going to think from now on that you created.
Right. I love the opening scene though, man. I love the cold open where
Yes.
you end up on a beach, you see the shoe, in the beach, you see the other shoe by the car, and you say and you go, oh, that's Howard's car. And
Mhm.
then that's how you could tell, like because I at first in my mind, and I love how Better Call Saul plays with expectations. I was gonna say, okay, Lalo made Saul take Howard's car out there, or Lalo took Howard's car out there, but then you realize, no, it was Mike that did that.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you realize something's going on, and I love how they kind of play with those kind of like tense moments of going, here's a clue to something, but you're not going to know what it means until the very end.
Dude, one of the best examples of that, an episode of Breaking Bad. I don't remember the episode title, but it's the title where in the end they had the flashback where they show Gus's cousin get killed, like which started the whole beef between.
Oh, the flashback to Mexico with Hector.
Yes. But
Yeah.
I like how when that episode starts off, we're just looking at a pool, and you see a little bit of blood come up from the bottom of the screen, and then they go to the logo opening, and I was like, oh my goodness, that's a heck of a tease. What does that mean? And
Yeah. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are great at that, and God, I'm gonna miss it when these shows are done. On one hand, I would love for them to start a new spin-off or a new series or something else that takes place in this universe, but I don't know if I want another series that takes place in this universe.
I feel like it's something that Vince said, where he's like, I'm paraphrasing, he's like, we wouldn't really do another spinoff unless it was fair story wise, and not just to do it just to capitalize off our vision of Albuquerque. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if Kimmy survives and she gets a spinoff, then I would want to see that, if it fits story wise. But if it's just something just to please the fans, I don't like. Game of Thrones has a Jon Snow spinoff coming out. I like Jon Snow, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like I remember when people were like, "Oh, Better Call Saul is just a cash grab to because Breaking Bad's over," and Better
I
Call
didn't feel
Saul
that
is
way.
no. That was one thing that a lot of people were saying. Like when it was
Oh,
first
okay.
announced, like before it even started, and they were like, "We're gonna make a spinoff of Saul Goodman," and everybody's like, "Why?" There's nothing about him. And I love how they expanded his character, and the Saul that we now know is literally a mask that he puts on to evade everything that's happened to him at that point, up to that point. Saul Goodman is not the happy smiley guy that he appears to be.
It's funny because I never looked at Bob Odenkirk as a serious actor. I've always looked at him as like a comedic actor that could be in serious dramas, like not at the same level of Bryan Cranston, because I looked at Bryan as like, okay, he can do funny, but he can do serious. And I looked at Bob Odenkirk as like, he can be funny and serious. But I gotta say, man, over these next few seasons, man, like Bob has been he's been selling me, dude. I'm like, this guy got chops, and you could tell he learned from some of the best.
Yeah, because I would love to see him take on the more serious roles and everything. I was kind of expecting that from, I think it was Nobody is what the movie was called, the like John Wick kind of ish movie with him. But that one sided a little bit more on the comical than being like a serious kind of movie.
Yeah.
I would love to see him act in like a serious role, kind of similar to that. And it'd be not as like handed into the comedy sector, because he's shown that he can do it. Absolutely. His acting in, various episodes, like Bagman, for example, his acting in that one is glorious.
Yeah, it's a well-directed, well-acted episode. He sold me, man. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say something else about this season. I told you that they started out on a high note. I'm wondering where it's gonna go from here.
I think it just kind of goes back to character drama. We'll see a lot of Kim and Jimmy having to deal with like the repercussions of knowing that they caused the death of Howard. And not only that, but like the scene of Jimmy sitting on the bed while Howard's body is being stuffed into his fridge and everything like that. Like that is so dark of a scene.
He was being stuffed into the fridge.
Yeah, that's how they got Howard's body out. Remember when the one guy that was there with Jimmy like got the call and he got off and he started like emptying the fridge and taking the shelves out and everything like that? And then Mike comes in and goes, well, the good news is you're going to get a new fridge, hoping that stainless steel is okay with you. And in the background, you can see like them lifting a body and putting it into the fridge.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay. What was I about to say? Man, I forgot. Oh, okay. So yeah. I'm looking forward to the rest of this season. So Jon Snow spinoff. What do you think?
Has it premiered yet?
No, of course not. But they announced it.
Okay. They've announced so many. Well, we have the one coming up soon.
House of the Dragon.
Yes, House of the Dragon. And then we also, they've got so many spin-offs of that show, which that show still amazes me.
Some were canceled though, right?
Were they?
I think some spin-offs were canceled.
That wouldn't surprise me. But at the same time, that show still amazes me as like a piece of showing how you can mess up the pop culture effect of a show with just a couple of episodes.
Dude, it's tragic. It's tragic because
yeah,
the first few seasons of the show are great. It's great writing, great directing. I bypass some of the sex scenes. I just fast forward over it because it doesn't take away from the brilliance of the show. And yeah, man, it's like I can't even bring myself to rewatch the show because the final season left a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, the worst part is you can go to the second to last season and start watching that and kind of be like, oh yeah, well this is all going to lead somewhere. You know, this isn't great, but it's going to lead somewhere. And then season 8 just completely takes a shit on itself. And now watching season 7, you kind of just go through it and go, yeah, that season wasn't good either. You were just kind of hoping that it would lead to something with season 8.
Yeah, definitely. Because it was strange. In the midst of when I was watching it, I was telling myself, this is good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was hanging on to the end of every episode, and I really liked that episode where everything was dark and it was like the war with the walkers.
Oh, like, yeah.
I really enjoyed that episode. And in the midst of all of it, I kept telling myself, man, this is good. This is so good. But like by the end of the season, I kind of reflected on everything. I'm like, well, they could have timed Danny's madness a little bit better. Final showdown was kind of okay. It doesn't make sense that Bran is the king. Like one piece of dialogue that didn't make sense. The three-eyed raven is supposed to stay out of everything. And this is gonna be a little bit of a GOT rant, y'all. And then when Tyrion says, I was thinking I would have you as king. And then Bran goes, why do you think I came all the way down here? Yeah. Why did you come all the way down there? You're the three-eyed raven. You don't care about this stuff.
Right. Well, not only that, but then Tyrion's like, well, why not go with the king that already brought his own throne? And it's like, wow, you're really going to bring out the kids in a wheelchair now of all times?
Yeah, that too. Dude, somebody said online, like when they said Jon Snow is gonna have their own spinoff, somebody said online, wouldn't it make more sense to do Arya and see her many adventures as she's going out traveling as the lone samurai of Westeros, if you will?
Doesn't she have a spinoff lined up too?
I don't think so.
I've lost track of it. Part of it is just I don't care anymore. And the other part of it is I really don't care anymore.
Yeah, I agree. Like it left a bad taste in my mouth. it's kind of the reason I didn't get the complete series. And if it had a great last season, I probably would have.
Let's see. We have House of Dragon, The Sea Snake, 10,000 Ships. I'm pretty sure that's the one that's following Arya.
Sure.
If not, I have no idea. I'm just going based on the titles. Untitled Jon Snow sequel series. I hope that's the title that they stick with. The Tale of Dunk and Egg. A Flea Bottom series. Who is Flea Bottom?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is it my man? His friend Samuel? No, that's Samuel Tarley.
Another prequel reported in development is set in Flea Bottom, the King's Landing slum featured in the original series. Who wants to see that?
I don't know.
And then The Golden Empire, which is an animated one. God, why are there so many?
Dude, when is enough? When is enough? It was a successful show, but come on.
Nobody wants a single spin-off anymore. Why are they making like 7? I really hope that the Jon Snow one just remains titled Untitled Jon Snow sequel series.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of that one, man. I can't make heads or tails of that. I don't know.
Yeah, it is what it is. But I think that pretty much wraps up this episode.
Yeah.
Nope.
All right, y'all. Like I said before, like, share, subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We'll have all that in the video. Take care.